as a leader who's lived for business ethics all his life, how do you imagine and propose the significance and role of business ethics as of today?
That's a difficult one to respond to. To a great extent, a company is viewed by its performance, by its profits, basically.
Yeah.
And that covers, shields, protects, and camouflages what's inside the company. The company could be a very happy, worthwhile environment, or it could be a nasty environment where you work morning to evening and go home and have no sense of belonging to your company. The financial and the business segment, unfortunately, more often than not, look at the profit, the numbers, and view you on that basis rather than the more holistic issue of, are you happy to work for the company you are working for? Is the company's management being fair to you as one of the stakeholders? As a customer, do you feel the company is being fair to you?
Yeah.
In terms of the quality and the after sales support that you should get? So, what is the interaction experience you have when interacting with company X? And what stands out at that time is, ethically, are you proud of your company, or do you feel that it's been fair to you, particularly in difficult times? Do you deal with your customers in a fair manner when there's a problem? And if the management can be brave enough and honest enough to rise to that occasion and not be concerned about the image alone, not take a view that I project myself as a leader that has never done anything wrong, everything I've done is right and needs to be protected, and you cannot criticize me, then I think you have forgotten a lot of things that you should be looking at in terms of the ethics of the company you chair. And more often than not, at some point in the future, you pay a price for it.
The young people today, and I'm also particularly mentioning the young entrepreneurs and people who are starting their businesses, are torn between, this whole emphasis on profitability, growing, making money, and also finding purpose and then having purpose. What would you tell entrepreneurs, young professionals who are in that crossroad, who are in that dilemma?
All of us, maybe in some of us more hidden than others, we're all looking for the spotlight, whether we admit it or not. We want to be successful. The means of gauging that success is profits, usually is generally how it's seen. And we want our story to be another success story,
Yes.
which gives us profits, it puts us in money, and that we consider ourselves successful as a result of that. Profits is not something that one can forget or take a view that, well, we're not concerned about that. It's very much a concern. The question is what you do to achieve those profits and what is the purpose that you're in that business. And unfortunately, I have a view that we're not in that business just to make a profit. You're in that business to serve the customer, to serve your shareholders, all your stakeholders, to do it ethically, not to jeopardize the safety. You may have bad decisions, you may have business standards that may, a period of time when you have a downturn where everything looks grim. What you do in those difficult times for all your stakeholders, how you reflect the downturn amongst yourself. Do you give yourself rising payrolls and say that, well, we have to increase the livelihood of our managers, but not of our workers, or take something away from the customers? I think it's an aggregation of those kinds of things that finally, somewhat like politics, you do the right thing on every count. You take the good with the bad, but you don't run away from the difficult
Yeah.
actions that you have to take. I always say maybe the greatest thing you do is as a manager is you go home at night and say, I did the right thing. Maybe it was difficult, but that's what I did.